Spring is finally here, like for real. I mean, we got one last shot at winter with all that snow, and now we can enjoy the sunshine.
Well, don't jinx them. There's more coming. Sadly, there's more coming.
Yeah, you know, it's your fault. It's okay. It's good moisture. It's good moisture. It'll stop us being so toasty later on. Well, welcome to Unity of Billings. We are going to sing "Surely the Presence of the Lord is in this place." It's in the. Only we have our lovely accompanist today, but because it's like taped into the back of the hymnals. If you don't know it. The presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel His mighty power and His grace. I can feel the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. All right, our Sunday services are being live streamed out there on YouTube. If you want to support Unity's ministry, you can donate on PayPal, or you can go straight to our website, which is up and kicking again, and the donate buttons on there work. So we're live. We're out there. It's great. Yeah. And then we have some announcements. Yoga with Tony is still on Thursdays from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. $12 to get in there, and I've heard nothing but glowing reviews. I haven't been able to make it myself because I usually have other stuff going on Thursdays, but I wish I could go because it sounds like so much fun. We have busy bags in the back for any kids who want to partake in that, and our kids' room is up and running, and it's great. They had a good time in there last week. I heard them. The meditation room, which is the little room out in front there, is available 9:30 a.m. Sundays, Monday through Tuesday evenings, 7 to 8 p.m., and Thursdays from 5:30 to 7 p.m. So if you're looking for a nice quiet place to just be away from it all for a minute and go into the silence, we have a nice location for that. It's a very beautiful room. It's decorated in a very lovely, calming kind of way. It's nice. The vibes are good. And today is Friendship Potluck Sunday, so there's probably food downstairs. Probably more food than we need. That's usually how it goes. And Unity t-shirts. If you want one, now's the time. They are in royal blue or navy.
No,
I think, nope.
Just this royal blue.
Oh, just the royal blue. Sorry, I'm kind of skimming here. So orders need to be in before 4/16. So let's say the 6th.
Yeah.
So yeah, 10 more days.
The last day to order for this first Friday.
Right. Yeah. So if you want one, that's the time to order it by. So they can be here on the 25th. So we can have them for that. The building is quite beautiful. I knew there was a thing. I couldn't remember what it was called. There we go. Yeah. So next Saturday is that the 12th? Next Saturday? There's not a calendar up here. I have to have one in front of me or on my phone or something. I got nothing. So at 1 p.m. next Saturday, we'll be doing spring cleaning up in here. So if you got some time to come help, just scrub a window or dust something, come on in. There's probably going to be food there too. We can't all get together and not have food around somewhere. So, plus it's just nice to put our energy into the building and, keeps the vibes good in here too. And then April 26th is Billings Bright and Beautiful, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. On the rims just east of the airport towards Swords Park. And that's why we want our t-shirts so people can see us. And it kind of gives us an opportunity to break the ice and open up and talk about what we're about here.
And that's a citywide thing, but that's the area we claim.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because it's got good exposure and it's hopefully lots of trails and a beautiful place to walk.
Gotcha. I've never actually done that before, so should be fun. Should be good.
I have and you did.
It is. Oh, good. I kind of figured. Can't call it bright and beautiful and have it be boring and lame, you know? So our April speakers, today we have the lovely Rev Edee Weigel talking about spring cleaning, very apt. And then next week is Reverend Orlinda Worthington. A funny thing happened on the way to enlightenment. I can't wait for that. That sounds interesting. And then on the 20th, which is Easter Sunday, we'll have Edee Weigel again. And then on the 27th, we'll have Marsha Culver. So we've got a good lineup going.
And next Sunday is Palm Sunday.
Yes, next Sunday is Palm Sunday.
Palms have been ordered. Prayers for my brain.
Boy, I feel that. So yeah, come in for Palm Sunday, and it's always a good time. And now it's time for the Unity song with David Friedman.
Every prayer is answered, every prayer is heard, every thought and feeling, every spoken word, what your soul has longed for, what your heart can feel, is already here, is already real. There is no one out there is no one else. You hold all the answers deep inside yourself. There's a voice that whispers, there's no you, no me, there's just one, there's just unity. One power, one presence, one light to lead the way, all loving, all knowing, that answers when you pray. When the world looks darkest and your eyes can't see, gather all your troubles, give them all to me. I am always with you, I will always be. I am one, I am unity. We are one, we are unity.
That song always puts me in the right place. And now I'm gonna light the Christ candle, God willing, that I can use the lighter. And it's idiot proof is what it is. The Christ candle represents the light of the Christ mind within all of us.
Hey, look at
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm like, phew, got it. First try. And now we'll read the daily word, which is assurance. And if you'll affirm with me, I live with the assurance of my divinity, as sure as that candle lit. There may have been times I doubted my ability to create the life of my highest imaginings and resigned myself to living a limited life. Today, I make a new choice. I see myself as fully divine and fully human. I am so much more than my past. Even if I have made regrettable decisions or disempowering choices, I have the assurance that with each new day, I can begin again and build the life I want to live. As I pray, I feel the limitations of the world fall away. In the silence, I feel the presence of God and the fullness of my own divinity. This is the enduring truth of who I am. I affirm, I am strong, I am creative, I am wise. I leave the past behind and eagerly create my future, assured of my eventual success. By this we know that we abide in him and he in us, because he has given us of his Spirit. 1 John 4:13. And if you'll affirm with me one more time. I live with the assurance of my divinity. That's so comforting. It's hard to remember sometimes, but it's very comforting. And now we'll affirm our Unity Foundation principle. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good, omnipotent. And our lovely Unity of Billings affirmation. Thank you, Charlene. Through divine wisdom and grace, Unity of Billings is vibrant, healing, and inclusive. And now it's time for our love offering. So hold that in your hearts. If you're donating online, we thank you too. And the energy still goes where it needs to go. Just hold it in your heart. And if you'll affirm with me, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. And I think we have some special music now. I see Robin. She's scurrying around. She's getting her done.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me.
I love it.
You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Thank you for that. That was lovely. I love it. All right. Now just hold your love offerings in your heart and envision that energy and that resource going out into the world and reaching all the places it needs to reach. Watch as it ripples from here at Unity of Billings and out into our community and out into our world, touching every life that it needs to and making changes and making the world a better place little by little. It's a really great feeling. All right. Without any further ado, let's welcome the lovely Rev Edee Weigel to talk about spring cleaning.
You are. It's great. I'm trying to show. Yippee. Well, spring is here. Gotta be. Of course, having fun at the ranch. Every time I think I could maybe do some chores, it rains or snows enough that the mud just gets deeper and deeper. I always think of the good old fashioned way they used to put a board across the corrals and you'd teeter across that board, to get over to turn on the water tank, and you're on the path or in the poop. Like our spiritual life, sometimes the path is narrow. But we sure do love the birds. They all came back on, 3 kinds of birds came back exactly on the same day. So they're Twitter-pated. Anybody remember Twitter-pation? Twitter-pated. I just love it. But next door is a whole herd of black mama cows. I've been watching them all winter getting larger and larger. And then one day, all of a sudden, at least half of them had their babies on one night. You wake up in the morning and you see the cows grazing, but you see the little fellas just tearing around their moms, and then they tear down and watching them run. Then I see the farmer walking slowly through them all to check them. So summertime, it's coming. But it's just fun, just all the changes all at once. The willow tree that I thought was dead, nope, it's sprouting leaves. It's another year coming back. So, but as and I'm talking about spring cleaning today, but of course, I always have kind of a harmless and euphemistic title to my talks because this is actually about cleaning out negative energies. Of course, I always try to make it sound so, it's like holding out the carrot, to get the horse. But as we get near to Easter, and I'm looking at our responsive readings, we actually have 3 responsive readings. So today we will be reading number 2 of that, which is responsive reading number 10, and it's in the back. Oh, it's number 10, but it's Easter responsive reading with the Roman numerals 2, and it's on page 527, way in the back. And it's so beautiful. I want us to talk very slowly as we respond, because these words are so rich when I was even reading them to myself, and I would even say them twice because these words are so rich. So it's on number 10, responsive reading. Everybody find it? Everybody give me a peace sign, let me know. All right. The resurrecting spirit of the Christ within me fills my mind with wisdom and understanding.
I am illuminated, and my way is made clear. My success is yours.
The resurrecting spirit of the Christ within me quickens the healing life activity in every part of my being.
I am whole, strong, and free, as God created me to be. I rejoice in my healing.
The resurrecting spirit of the Christ within me increases my awareness of infinite substance to meet my every need.
I am enriched and prospered. An abundance of God's good fills my life and affairs.
The resurrecting spirit of the Christ within me fills my whole being with love.
I am loving and I am loved. I express love freely and fully.
Isn't that so beautiful? It just says it all. You think about how long these books have been, these hymnals have been in circulation, and they think of all the time they spent trying to make sure they wrote all the right things for us to lead us on our spiritual journey, a map, maps of our lives. So reflecting on these wonderful responsive readings, I've been working on letting go of a few things in my life. I've had quite a few people I know pass away just lately, but they're older people. They lived a great life. But it's just amazing to me that, I might have a dream about somebody and I see them young and smiling, and then I get the news. So, letting go of some people that I grew up with, even, that time passes by. I mean, aren't we all still 20? But, letting go and feeling that harmony with spirit, and still feeling their love and their presence in my life, in my dreams. But one thing I've been working with, and I be breathing in deep, every day I practice my affirmations because I tell myself, no matter how I'm feeling, if I start saying some affirmations out loud, cats run in, they think maybe I'm feeding them or something's going on. But one that's been working with me really well is we are in harmony with the flow of spiritual energy. So let's say that a couple of times. We are in harmony with the flow of spiritual energy. Let's say it again. We are in harmony with the flow of spiritual energy. And I may say we because I've got quite a few, animal friends around there. I have so many wonderful friends that they'll either text me or call me every single morning. And I had a wonderful talk with Pat Hoffman this morning, of all things. Lovely Pat. She wanted to come to church today, but she was moving a little slow. But she's here in spirit. Another affirmation that really is working for me lately is, I release everything that is not for my highest and best. So let's say that together. I release everything that is not for my highest and best. I remember Mother used to write out affirmations she'd write out, everything that is right for me flows easily into my life. If it comes easy, then it's meant to be. If it seems a little hard, try something else. Last night I dreamed I was in a motorhome and we were all together. I mean, I don't know if all of us were together, but I had quite a few friends. I don't know who was driving, but we were going backwards down the freeway. And I woke up and I thought, what does that mean? And it's like, you've got to face forward because that's where you're going. You're looking back. And I thought, I guess with, letting go of some people or just accepting them in their new spirit life, it's a huge transition. So yes, so I've turned the motorhome around and we're all going the right way down the road. So spring cleaning has begun. Part of the wisdom of success that we must hold in focus is to take time off when we need it. This time of year, it's like, here's the Kentucky Derby, the gates spring open, the horses take off. Well, as soon as the weather gets better, we're all out there, in the garden, or the windows are open and we start working hard. And sometimes we get stuck on fast forward all spring and summer. So we need to really take time, have that time for the quietness. Maybe just sit out there and enjoy the lawn barefooted. I did yesterday. Just sit out there and enjoy it. Don't worry about the weeds because the lawnmower guy will come. But we soften the pressure to make things happen. And we take a higher view of spring. Lately the word metaphorical has been in my mind. Higher view of spring. But we allow the process to happen in its own time. And we honor all the energies of spring. Times to rest and times to slow down and times to charge ahead. We honor all three phases of spring and of spring cleaning. I think maybe that's why it's been raining and snowing a few days. It kind of puts a stop right on us. We're like, wow, I was going to work in the yard today, but it's howling and snowing sideways. I think I'm going to stay in the house. But be mindful of the consciousness you bring to these tasks. Every time you're doing a chore, you can still say affirmations. You can still visualize something beautiful and not get too caught up on, at my age, there may be some clutter in the house. I'm like, I have a dumpster. I think today I'm going to throw away every single thing I don't need, or I might go to Goodwill. But, I seem to have an overabundance of gracious supply. But we have a mindfulness as we work. We have a great opportunity to practice good karma, positive energy. And we can use every challenge as a spiritual growth opportunity. When we wake up to what is really going on, we can become more mindful of the consciousness we hold. Like, what channel are we tuned into? And can we stay on the channel or do static kind of, like I live where it's the edge of radio frequency, what do they call it? Tuning in. So sometimes I go in there and tune the radio some more. I have a lot of old radios. I may have to move the antenna around a little bit. But being mindful of the consciousness you're holding, saying you're tuned into the God channel. You're tuned into the higher frequency and of God's healing. Because, think about it. We're either healing or we're not. So we might as well stay on the healing frequency. I like the idea that automatic vacuum cleaner, that the Roomba Zumba thing, it charges itself up and does the whole room, and maybe sometimes there's a cat sitting on it. But you become mindful that spring cleaning is a metaphor for what's really going on mentally and spiritually. Because when we want to change something or someone who's a challenge to our peace of mind, we need to keep a spiritual values, a spiritual armor around us. There are situations and people that Julia Cameron calls crazy makers. Julia Cameron calls them that. But she also states in The Artist Way that something in our own self, our own consciousness, attracts and uses a crazy maker's drama as a block to our being responsible for our spiritual maturity. Sometimes we attract drama that's in the now because it's a good way to get rid of maybe some trauma in the past. So drama becomes medicine for trauma, but it's dysfunctional. Don't you love it? We draw this into our life. And it's like, dust bunnies be gone, cobwebs be gone. We're cleaning. You think of this spiritual maturity, and it's like, oh no, what's that? It's when you've been on a spiritual path or a spiritual journey long enough that you start to see drama kind of taking hold. You see things coming into your life, your bubble and you see them coming soon enough to take evasive action. And I like the someone in a batting cage, the ball's coming and they're just ready to whack, knock that sucker right out of there. So, it's like, oh no, I see this is starting to happen again. When someone says, oh, my cat just had kittens, don't you want like 5? I'm like, I'll take 1 that's spayed. But you start taking evasive action in a spiritual way because you see crazy makers in your life clearly. But here's the real exciting news. Often we are our own worst enemy as we attract or even become our own crazy makers. And I wrote, oh no. I was thinking, oh no, Mr. Bill. Oh no. Sometimes we create our own drama because it distracts us from the real spiritual, I call it the nitty-gritty work that we need to do. You could meditate. You could sit there with your hands and just meditate and saying, okay, God, just take over. I'm just giving it all to you. We start to see things with eyes of wisdom and we start to practice self-love. So when you are your own challenge, it's a lack of self-love. So it's good to look in the mirror. Like I said, pull up the corners of your mouth and say, I love you every day. Thank you, God. I love you, God. Thank you for everything you're so willingly supplying to me, like a river of good just flowing into my life. The spiritual maturity means seeing things for what they truly are and having the reaction of how can this benefit me instead of falling into the black hole, a pit, the rabbit hole, the Easter bunny, no, the rabbit hole. We can see that we can use this energy to become wiser. Spring cleaning means of getting rid of the, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And you start getting wiser, like you're like, oh, well, there's no challenge so great that God cannot help me through this. You turn it over. A form of self-love is to weed out the spiritual garden. And oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. I say this to myself quite often. When I get tempted to overcommit or overschedule, and oh, no, you don't. And this made me laugh. Sometimes I look myself in the mirror and I go, do I really want to commit to doing this? Yada, yada, fill in the blanks. And I go, I really don't want to do this. And it's loving Liz Gilbert on YouTube, Liz Gilbert that wrote Eat, Pray, Love. She goes, I've gotten to the point when my friends invite me to just another party. And I say, I don't want to go. I want to stay home, but thank you. She's learning to say no and thank you and not going to another endless party where she goes home at night and says, I feel very drained. No, she stays home. And Liz Gilbert says, my number one job is to stay calm. And my other job is to write books. I just love her. She shaved her head. She said, no more drama with the hair. Her form of self-love is just cutting loose. Yeah, the dynamic of trying to appear as a gorgeous, put-together woman all the time. She's like, nah, I just shave my head. Every time I do, it's a form of self-love. I have just kicked that out. So, oh, no, you don't. I may say this to my mirror, and I shake my finger. Everybody shake your finger. Oh, no, you don't. Don't you creep in here and ruin my day. You're in the garden, and all of a sudden you look down, there's a snake. It's laying in the sun. It's just enjoying springtime. And, woo. I can remember Ernie would do, he looked like Airwalk, when he saw a snake. He was afraid of snakes and mice and all those things. And I'm like, oh, don't worry, honey. You have to laugh at yourself, and you, oh, no, you don't. So spring cleaning is an emotional process. We may even have an emotional attachment to things that are clutter and that must go to the Goodwill or to the dumpster. I've been filling my dumpster with all weeds and vegetation from last fall, and I have recovered from quite a very interesting situation with my back. But I'll tell you, I do weeding, but I only weed for like 10 minutes. It's my little enjoyment. But I'm pulling up metaphorical weeds. As I work, I'm also letting go of other things. I'm letting go of old dysfunctional memories in my life. in my mind, and maybe some old sad emotions. An affirmation I can use when confronted by troubling thoughts is, all is well, all is well. And it's just, even just saying that, it's probably a Louise Hay thing, all is well in my world. Take that big deep breath and just, you don't have to carry it. You can throw it in the dumpster. Everything is serving its purpose. Everything's serving its purpose. Even an animal being injured and having to take care of it. You're having to do what you need to do, but it's serving its purpose. It's pulling your focus in sharply. I have the power to heal. I can pray for this friend or this animal or this situation. I relax and I'm free to enjoy life, but everything is serving its purpose. It's a great way to just try to find that harmony, that level line, not too happy, not too sad, just finding that even keel. If you've ever ridden on a boat, you know what it's like when you're on rough waters. So there's nothing better than being on a boat when it's smooth. There's probably nothing worse than being on there when it's choppy or rolly. But everything is serving its purpose. God's harmony, God's world is perfect. And we learn to see it that way. And that's spiritual maturity. You learn to take that big deep breath and lay back before you let yourself have the reaction. You're like, oh, wait a minute. I'm seeing this for the good, for the grounding, for the centering that this is bringing into my life and my other friends' lives. Getting calls in the morning for people that are having challenges and need me to pray with them on the phone pulls me right out of my drama into being useful and loving and kind and helping people. And then I get the little messages back, oh, I feel so much better. And I'll be like, I do too. I do too. So spring cleaning can also be a deep inner cleansing of our own habits. Some of us have old habits. I know I do. That could even be self-sabotage. Oh no. Self-sabotage. And I take a long look at the ice cream drawer, when I'm shopping, buying all this healthy food. Then I go by and I look at all the ice cream and I'm like, just wait till summer. You could have some then. Because if I make it out to the ranch without if I can make it out to the ranch with only health food, then I'm staying home and I'm eating only health food. But boy, if I get that ice cream, I could eat the whole thing, sit and watch YouTube, eat the whole thing. Cherry Garcia. So we have to be careful that we don't have self-sabotage. Crazy making, some of this lack of focus could be self-sabotage. Kind of gives us a drama to focus on. But if we focus on healing the earth, that kind of spreads our energy out and it goes everywhere all at once. And it's really nice to feel expanded energy, and that's spiritual maturity. So we may not even know that such a thing exists as self-sabotage. That might be like taking off on a trip and you didn't fill up the car first. And then you're like worrying, oh, I'm gonna make it to the next gas station. There's that great feeling of knowing that the tank is full. Could be full of spiritual energy. Your spiritual energy tank is full. So when I go out for the day, I'm like, I'm walking with God today. Thank you very much. I'm not going to worry about my little personal things. We may find ourselves overreacting to anything. We may find ourselves overreacting. We might look at how indignation or sorrow or ego pain go hand in hand with feelings that have their purpose. But we have to, and this is a good word, it's kind of like the cow chewing up the cud. I'm kind of a cowgirl. You got to chew it up and then you've got to digest it. You got to let it go. We have a lot of things we carry around with us. Spring cleaning means it's okay to let it go. We can let go of overreacting or feeling indignant about anything because that's a block. That's a self-sabotage block. When you feel expanded and you see everything with eyes of love, that's self-love. That makes you feel great. I like to visualize, the heart. Look at everything with eyes of love. Big pink heart. We have to choose not to drag our tender hearts over the coals anymore. No more laying on a bed of nails. Sometimes we make pain in our life to avoid pain that we've had in our life. And I'm writing this and I'm like, where's this coming from? Oh yeah, this might be kind of my own personal story. But we learn to avoid the drama, and I wrote here again, oh no you don't. You're not going to do that. You don't even need to open that book today. You know, let's think about a higher self. Think about how pretty those flowers are going to be. You know, the bulbs have started and little green shoots are coming up. You know, maybe it'll snow and bend them all over. It's happened before. But those tender flowers are coming up, and just visualize them fully in bloom. I like to come and bring them in the house and put them in water before something happens to them, and I get to enjoy them a little longer. I planted them 25 years ago. You know, the daffodils, narcissus, and hyacinths, all those fun words to say. It says, oh no, you don't. A simple deep breath and I choose to let this go can bring immediate relief. You know, I don't know why, but I'm suddenly remembering being in a park one time and a goose ran up behind me and bit me on the back of my leg. That's how things can catch you so quick. Ow, wait a minute. Well, I have to admit I had boots on and I kicked it. And it flipped upside down and fell into the lake and was sinking. But it bit me really hard. You know, when they get a hold of you and they go like this? You know, my first, I had cowboy boots on. I said, get off of me. And boom. Well, I landed a good blow on it and it actually did pass out. But it got up and ran away. Don't mess with me. A simple deep breath and I choose to let this go can bring immediate relief. Relief. Got that Texas slipping in there. Mother. Relief. Drama has no hold on me. This is a good affirmation. Drama has no hold on me. Everybody else's story and all their problems, not mine. I'm going to let this go and pray for world peace. Pray for the peace of this town or this country. You know, I'm so glad I live in Montana. Drama has no hold on me. And we become more spiritually mature when we feel wisdom and calmness at the forefront of our emotions. And you say to yourself, I'm a spiritual warrior. You know, no matter what's coming, you know, I guess there's some kind of game they play with their hands, with their hitting the ball. Can't remember, they hit the wall. Handball. There you go. Simple. But you look at all the things, you know, space flying at you, space debris, boom, bam, beam, like a superhero, you know. Your super fine superhero power. You learn to avoid the drama. You see it coming and you take evasive action before it gets a hold of your emotions. I am a spiritual warrior. And in Sanskrit, the word hero and warrior are the same. I'm a spiritual hero. You can be a hero to yourself. You can be a spiritual warrior. You start to see things with how much force of emotion you have when it's surrounded with love and healing and grace. You know, like, bless you, my child. I can see my mother sending us off to school in the morning, putting her hands out. God bless you, mother. I had to walk all that way by myself, sometimes with my sister, depending if we were at the same school. Let's have a little guided meditation now, pondering some of these thoughts. And we'll sit in our meditation posture, which actually is the bioenergetic way to let healing energy flow through your body without any blockage. So both feet are flat on the floor. You put your hands on the upper thigh. And you close your eyes and just breathe peacefully for a moment, feeling that you're balancing your skull over your spine. So your muscles can be totally at peace because you're balanced with your body. And you're breathing very slowly, very peacefully. And as you inhale, you can mentally affirm, I am powerful. Oh, I am powerful. And then as you exhale, you can mentally affirm, I am free. Breathing in, I am powerful, with a little pause. And exhaling slowly, I am free. Breathing in, I am powerful, with a pause. And exhaling, I am free, with a little pause. We are powerful and we are free. As we practice self-love, we open our hearts and spirits to divine wisdom, divine guidance. We are powerful and we are free. We open our hearts to self-love and we feel divine wisdom and divine guidance. Breathing deeply and slowly, I am powerful and I am free. I release any need for drama. I release any need for drama. I open my heart and mind to a higher love. I open my heart and mind to a higher love. I am guided by divine wisdom. I am guided by divine wisdom. I release the past and welcome a new, higher level of spiritual maturity. I release the past and welcome a new, higher level of spiritual maturity. I am loved and I am loving. I am loved and I am loving. Breathing deeply and mentally affirming, I am powerful. Exhaling slowly, I am free. I am powerful and I am free. We feel divinely guided by divine wisdom. Slowly stretching the corners of your mouth up and smiling. I'm getting some giggles out there. The most important yoga posture. Slowly squeezing the corners of your mouth upward. I'm glad you're getting the same response as I did when I wrote this. Slowly coming out, stretching. We are powerful and we are free. Spring cleaning is a goal to plant seeds of inner peace. And we let go of old hurts and old outdated emotions. And we stop being who we were and we see something brighter beckoning to us. Oh no, we don't. We see something brighter. It's like getting up earlier now, we see the sun coming up. You know, the time has changed, the sun's coming up. Get up early and you see that sun coming up every morning. You put your hand over your heart and you're like, my spiritual maturity is beckoning to me. I'm going to really try to stay on that track. We start being who we are and walking in the light of God and of spirit and of healing. We embrace inner peace as our goal. You know, all I want's peace. If I only could choose one thing, I want peace. Here's some lovely words from an old daily word. As I dig through my pile, I paraphrase. The peace of God is ours to share and to live. Peace flourishes in our awareness of the divine presence within, and peace flows from our spiritual center within. Our spiritual center flows peace out to the world. Peace calms me and everyone in my life. Peace calms our emotions, our thoughts, relaxes our bodies, and radiates outward to everyone we meet. If peace eludes us, we open our minds for some spring cleaning to remove anything that may be blocking our flow of peace. We invite God's peace to fill our body, mind, and our spirit. We invite healing into every aspect of our lives right now. We can pray to resolve anything that is blocking our perfect peace. And if we realize we may have resentments or unforgiveness, we can pray for the willingness to forgive and let go. We can pray, affirming, divine love through me forgives and releases anything that blocks my perfect peace. As we live our faith daily, we can affirm that God is the only presence and power in the universe, and that our faith dissolves fear, and our faith restores our love and our peace. We come to align our thoughts and feelings with God's indwelling presence, and we promise ourselves to choose a life filled with peace. You know, I like that. We choose to align our thoughts and feelings with God's indwelling presence. You know, as my mother would say sometimes, there's nothing to pay attention to but God, higher spirit, higher mind, divine wisdom. Because if it's tuning into the God channel, she's make a little joke about that. I still think about that. We're tuning into the God channel. All we are is pure love. Spring cleaning is a great metaphor for starting anew. You know, sometimes it's fun to take every single thing out of a room and paint the walls. That might be one of my projects this summer. I might enlist some of my friends, young enough to go up a ladder. It's fun to think of projects like gardening or fun outdoor activities that we have waited all winter to begin. I mean, we've been looking out the window at some serious white stuff flying by. Step out the door and you're like, oh man, I got to go back in and put on another scarf or cover my face. It's been pretty biting there a few times. The daily journaling, that's how I get through winter. Daily journaling can serve as a roadmap to our goals and dreams. And daily journaling is also including making lists. We like our to-do list. You can make spiritual to-do lists too. Daily journaling and making lists can help us sort out the new energy that spring brings to us. We're so blessed to be right here and right now in this wonderful church family. So make a spiritual to-do list. You know, I even make lists of people I'm praying for. I may just write their names out, even in cursive writing. You know, got a lot of people to pray for. It gives me something to do with all this energy that flows in. So I'm assigning homework. I'd like you to write a list of 20 things you would like to manifest. And you can make them on cute 3x5 cards, which I actually brought a sample today to show you. I had 20 things to manifest. Okay, and it's really fun, little cutie things, little cards. And I made these in 2017. You know, and I look back at this was in December of 2017. And I was having a little challenge in my life about then. I wish darn it, should have come back into Unity sooner. You know, I just like, gosh, I really miss my Unity friends. I really should start coming in. But you make these little 20 things to manifest. And I'll just entice you by telling you a few I wrote about. Positive thinking, positive attitude. And I had written an affirmation. I manifest positive thinking. Number 2, enjoyment of activities. And the affirmation was, I have fun. Number 3 was new courage, new kindness, and new strength. And I wrote, I manifest courage. And I don't know why I drew a bunch of little kitty cats. I guess owning cats takes more courage than owning a horse. Cats can just disappear. You know, the horses are in the corral. Number 4 was cleaning up home, yards, barn, and feelings of peace and contentment. So I wrote, I manifest order and peace. Interesting thoughts I had written here. Let's see. Feelings of freedom and fun, artistic and creative. Time for me to renew and make new stuff. You know, I paint a lot, so I got to take those paintings I've done and put them places for sale or give them away. I wrote, I manifest freedom and fun. and feelings of being in the right place at the right time. I'm manifesting my vein of gold. And that's another wonderful book by Julia Cameron. I wrote here, let's see, I open my inner ears to God's wisdom and divine guidance. God has a perfect plan for my life. And I wrote in here, I tune in to the God channel. I've had that with me all my life. I manifest faith and goodness. God loves me and wants me to be joyous, happy, and free. And I wrote the affirmation, I can enjoy my life. I was going through some physical challenge, so I wrote, I manifest healing. I manifest healing for myself and all others in my life. I manifest kindness. I surround myself with grace and kindness. And then I wrote this here, I manifest miracles. See the wonder in what you do. You are a goddess. You're allowed to write anything you want, it's all yours. Manifest forgiveness. I'm a beloved child of God and he protects me. No one can hurt me. I surround myself with the protection of the Holy Spirit. I manifest peace in all my words, actions, and reactions. I am a child of God and he has sent me here. So these are just some of my 3x5 cards. I have hundreds of them, hundreds. Someday I may do a workshop. It's kind of like little mini vision boards, but we can decorate them. Here's one with a little watercolor on it, manifesting love. So just another fun idea. I'm always trying to do something every day that's a step towards spiritual freedom. And that means that no matter what's going on in the world, I can still see God's purpose in everything. I'm thinking about how fast the last 25 years have gone since I bought that ranch. Just decades there. I've never had to do anything about the field. It's continuously growing. It's sub-irrigated. The horses do all the fertilizing for me. Me and the kid have a project in mind. We're going to make our own harrow and drag the field. This is our big project. We have a hog panel. We're going to chain it to the ball and drag it up and down. Free manure. Thank the Lord. So today we're going to think about some of the aspects of spring cleaning, spiritual maturity, talking to yourself a little bit. Don't get overcommitted. Take time to really fully enjoy summer. Me being a child, and we had those 3 months of summer. Summer. I think about Olaf, We have summertime. Take time to sit in the sun, close your eyes, let that sun shine on you. Just feel yourself, melting like Olaf. Poor Olaf. But take time to just totally nurture yourself and don't get overbooked, overcommitted, doing too many things, because this time of year, it just takes off like a racehorse. And we can stand for the blessing since I'm looking at meeting the clock so it's not cut off on our YouTube.
It won't be.
Oh, good. Sometimes I'm watching and I go, okay, I'm trying to be on the spot here. So the blessing is also a benediction because, as my mother would say, she put her hands up, she's blessing everyone. And we say, right here, right now, we are free. We are free to create a new reality as we focus on God's good. And we do some spring cleaning to embrace the warmer weather of spring and summer. And we look at our emotions and we see how we can look at everything with eyes of love. We are loved, we are powerful, and we are healed. And all is well in our world. And so be it. Namaste.
Namaste.